Good morning, dear friend. Today we are going to discuss about a very famous literary term, paradox. What is paradox? A paradox is one which, contrary to the received opinion, it is apparently absurd, but is or may be really true. It may be a self-contradictory statement. It may be a self-contradictory statement which is contrary to established opinion. In another word, a paradox is a statement which is on its face seems to be self-contradictory or absurd, yet it turns out to have a valid meaning. The paradox is used by almost all the poets. It is a centered device in metaphysical poetry, both in the religious and secular forms. Shakespeare's phrases the truest poetry is the most feeling. The truest poetry, the most feeling. And cowards die many times before their deaths. And Wordsworth, it is very famous by Wordsworth. The child is the father of man. We know that a child cannot be the father of a man. So it is a paradox. The statement is paradoxical. An example of paradox. It is used by almost all poets, but it is a central device in metaphysical poetry, both in its religious and secular forms. John Donne's sonnet, Death, Be Not Proud, ends with a paradox. One short sleep, one short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more, death thou shalt die. It is a very famous paradox also by metaphysical poet John Donne. And the paradoxical utterance combines two terms that in ordinary usage are contraries. It is called an oxymoron. An example is Tennyson's "Or Death in Life, the Death That Are No More." The oxymoron was familiar type of patriarchal conceit in Elizabethan love poetry in phrases like pleasing pain, I burn and freezing, loving head. This is oxymoron. Another literary figure, another literary figure of speech is antithesis. An antithesis is a figure of speech which presents a contrast or opposition in a balanced sentence. Here, the matter is in sentence. It was effectively used by Pope and other 18th century poets. One such example is man proposes God and disposes. Man proposes God and disposes. Where the second part is in direct opposition to the first. And other example is Pope's description of the Baron's design against Belinda in the Rape of the Lock. The grammatical parallelism is strengthened by alliteration in the noun. Resolved to win, he meditates the way by force to ravish or by fraud betray. Again, in Johnson's Rasselas, the sentences marriage has many pains, but celibacy has no pleasures is an example of apt antithesis. Thank you.